if you could tap into your emotions in a way that allowed you to deal with them and then release them, would you be happier or maybe feel less stressed? Join me for part 3 of this 4-part series on the 5 tips to beat stress by practicing mindfulness. In this episode, I'm going to share with you how to get unstuck from naming your emotions and freeing yourself from the stress and anxiety associated with unresolved emotions. So get comfy as I share another one of the 5 tips that you can implement in your life right now. Mental health and awareness is a pretty hot topic right now, and one of the most common aspects people get stuck in is naming their emotions. When you allow yourself to identify an emotion, you are in effect taking away its power over you, and that in itself is a pretty powerful thing. If I asked you, how are you feeling? Most probably your response would be, I'm fine. But what if you asked yourself, how am I feeling? Could you off the top of your head answer that question truthfully? Emotions are really something that we are taught to name and acknowledge when we're children. As a result, we end up struggling to deal with it as adults, and it profoundly influences the quality of our lives. Think about how you feel when you're at your best. What words come to mind? Probably words like happy, confident, calm, focused, enthusiastic, and optimistic. That's when you're most productive and alive and interact the best with others. At your worst, you're typically experiencing the opposite feelings: unhappiness, self-doubt, impatience, irritability, defensiveness, and pessimism. Your sense of value feels at risk. You might become tunnel visioned and your energy gets consumed because you're constantly in defense mode. Now, you can't change what you don't notice. Denying or avoiding your feelings doesn't make them go away, nor does it lessen their impact on you, even if you're unaware of it. Identifying and naming emotions empowers you by giving yourself the chance to take a step back and make choices about what to do with those emotions. That's what mindfulness is all about. It's about being more aware of your entire being in a way that allows you to take control over it rather than the other way around. Now, you're listening to what I'm saying, but you might be thinking, okay, so where do I even start to name my emotions? I'm going to share with you a couple ways to do this. Because we tend to generalize feelings like I'm sad or I'm happy, we aren't really dissecting those emotions in a way that help us to understand and deal with them. In my research, I found something called an emotion wheel, which helps to break down your emotions into much more defined and specific emotions, which can help you to pinpoint where these emotions are coming from or leading to. If you're interested in checking it out, there's a link in the description box below. So you cleaned out your closet. How did it make you feel? Probably happy after the hard work. But why are you happy? Maybe because you feel more accomplished. Maybe you need more structure and order in your life, and this felt like a first step. Take some time to understand what your emotions mean and how they relate to your life. Let's go through a possible scenario of using reactive thoughts. So something unpleasant happens. Immediately, your body stiffens and your fists clench. You think, I can't believe this. This is so wrong. It's so unfair. You feel, I'm angry, sad, frustrated, humiliated, whatever that emotion is. Your body tenses even more, and your reaction is, that's it. I'm done. I don't have to take this. I'm going to let them have it. Now let's repeat that same scenario using the Name Your Emotions tool. So again, something unpleasant happens. Immediately you have the same response. Your body stiffens and your fists clench. But you think, my body is telling me I'm angry, sad, etc. And instead you take a deep, slow breath in, and you recognize I'm having thoughts that are upsetting me. And instead you slowly exhale out. You feel anger, 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 yeah? But instead you take a deep, slow breath in. Your body slows down and slowly exhales out. You might be feeling sad, 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 but instead you take a deep, slow breath in and out, and so on. After you've done this a few times with different emotions and circumstances, you'll start to notice a distance that develops as you label your thoughts and emotions, so that instead of reacting negatively, you immediately tap into the frontal lobe, slow your body and mind, and consciously choose your next response. This allows you to connect with the experience in a completely different way, and instead of becoming consumed by it, you can now deal with it. Keep in mind that emotions are there for a reason, even the negative ones. So don't try and change the emotion you're feeling. That's just another form of burying them. Try and change the way you react to certain situations. Just because you feel angry doesn't mean you have to throw something across the room. Try talking about what makes you angry and find a solution. Just like practicing mindfulness, the practice of casually naming your emotions, even 5 minutes a day, can be beneficial. And whether the feeling you name is simply directing you to address something important going on in your life, or it's just something to learn to accept, the practice of growing awareness can help you identify patterns. By reflecting on your emotions with a little more attention through naming and labeling, you can free yourself from the negative reactions and poisonous thoughts and instead become calmer and more able to turn to the good things in your life. In part 4 of this episode, I'll be talking about techniques on how to get grounded through mindfulness to help bring you back to the present moment whenever you become anxious, overly stressed, or angry. And that's your 1 minute health tip. Send me your questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this information helpful, please share it with someone else who you think might benefit from it. All the links to everything mentioned in this video can be found in the description box below. And for more health and beauty tips, keep watching.